I wish I did more of in my corporate job when I was in corporate? I really wish I just took a stand and jumped and I got into action. I really wish I got into action much faster than I did. Last week I did a video called How to Have an Epic End to 2020. And really this is part 2 of this video series that I'm going to do, because a lot of us think that we have had to have an amazing first half or amazing first 3 quarters as we go into the last quarter. But we know that games are won many times in the final quarter. And so it is not too late. It is not too late to have an amazing year. And one of the things I know that in order to end strong is that we have to get out of analysis paralysis and get into action. And frankly, this is one of the things I wish I did more when I was in my corporate job. When you're a corporate, you're surrounded by super smart people. People who are thinkers, that are brilliant, that are really good analyzers. But the same thing that makes them smart is also the thing that makes us not successful, and that is overthinking things. Sitting out, planning out. Nothing is wrong with planning. Planning is important. But if you're spending all of your time planning and not enough time executing, or 0 time executing, then the circumstances won't change. And I had to learn that lesson for myself, and I wish I would have learned it earlier in my career. I learned it in my last few years of corporate. I remember a time when I woke up out of my bed and I was just like not feeling well, and I thought to myself, geez, if I had a serious health issue and it was going to be terminal, would I have lived a life that I really wanted to live? And the answer to that question is no. There were things that I knew that I was passionate about, that I wanted to get done, the impact that I wanted to make, not just within my own circle, but in the world. Thank you, Carrie, for saying that. So many of us, we have dreams and we have goals and we have ambitions of contributions that we want to make. And we don't take a jump, we don't take the leap, we don't step forward because we're afraid of failure, we're afraid of criticism, we're afraid of what people are going to say. But I was thinking about Chadwick Boseman a lot, and how he had an amazing impact on the last 4 years of his life. He had a diagnosis, and who knows, maybe that was the accelerator for him to say, you know what, I might not have a lot of time left. And so because of that, I want to make the biggest impact. I want to leave a legacy bigger than myself that lives on beyond me. And I honestly asked myself the same question a few years ago. And I said, here I am, wanting to help women advance in life. And my sphere of influence was around their careers because I was an HR professional. And I want to see them step up and play big in a way that they have never played before, because it took me a long time to be able to do that myself. And sometimes, if you know this, sometimes your pain is where your power lies. Sometimes your pain is where your passion lies. And the things that you've struggled with, if you struggle with health issues and you've experienced healing, you want to bring that the same way to others. And that's the reason. That's the reason I was motivated, is because it took me a long time to figure out how to own my power, how to own my brilliance, how to show up powerfully, how to speak without worrying too much about what people think, how to not get stuck. And so I wish I would have taken those steps earlier in my career and just taken action. And when I took action, I'll tell you what happened. I was able to develop a program to help women step up boldly and courageously while I was in my corporate job. And the impact that made was amazing. The energy of the women that went through it in corporate was amazing. But you know what I was waiting on? I was waiting on for somebody to bless me and to say, go ahead, Kisha, blessings to you. You can do what you want to do. I didn't get that immediately. I just started where my passion was. And as I started and it was impactful, then the following came. Right? And Stella says, thank you, Stella. And so I went back and I started. I didn't get hung up in the criticism. I didn't get hung up in the fear. And as a result of me taking that first action, you know what happened? Let me tell you what happened. What happened was that the program was a hit. I was invited in the corporation to speak on a stage with over 500 leaders and executives that was able to watch me. Not only that, I was able to be invited. Friends found out what I was doing within my corporations, and they invited me to speak at universities. They invited me to speak on stages across the country and even across the world, because I did a session in Brazil, which that's a whole other story I was super passionate about. And I was able to do that. And as a result of taking that first step, I eventually turned that into my own business. And I tell you that story to tell you, I'll give you a vision of if you just took that first step, what would it look like? What would it look like for you 30 days from now? What would it look like for you 90 days from now? How would your life change if you stopped being stuck in analysis paralysis and decided to take a leap of faith and to move forward with the thing that you know that's buried deep within your heart and within your soul? So as I said, for me, my passion is to see women step up and get out of fear and self-doubt and really develop a career plan to own their brilliance, to own their power, to show up and get the reward and the recognition that they deserve in their business or in their corporate career. And if this is something that you're interested, I want to invite you. I want to invite you. Some of you, this YouTube video will be enough, but I would invite you to my live masterclass that I will be holding on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. It is free. I'm going to drop a link in the description and in the comments below, and you are invited to attend this session if you are a high potential, highly ambitious woman who wants to step up and play bigger in her life than she has ever played without twisting and conforming to somebody else's standard of who you are, but to own your unique brilliance and own your unique power and your own superpower so that you can make an impact in the way that you are created and designed and destined to make an impact. So that's all for this week, my friends. I'll be doing more lives talking about what mindsets we have to really end 2020 in an epic way. And today I want to just encourage you to take the leap, to take action, to move forward, because at the end of the day, we will never get competence before we take action. We will never get confidence as well before we take action. Because you know what confidence comes from, my friends? Confidence comes from taking action first. And as we take action over and over again, we develop skill. We get good at it. We develop competence. It's just like the first time you drive a car. The first time you drive a car, you're not confident in your driving skills because you don't have the experience. And so we try to start out with feeling confident, but confidence actually comes after taking the leap, after jumping, after taking the action. And so I want to invite you, whatever it is that you want to move forward with, don't wait until you feel good about it. Do it scared. Do it with your knees shaking and your teeth shattering, as my coach says, and take bold, courageous action. So as I said, if you want to learn more, I invite you to my masterclass, Advancing Your Career and Your Business Confidently. And we're going to go through 3 strategies to advance in your career and overcome self-doubt and fear that only the select few have been taught. Well, that is all for this week, my friends. I see you and I believe in you. Don't forget, you are not meant to shrink down lower, so rise up and own your power. Have a fantastic week.